All right, another vlog, and I can't hear myself or talk really with the headphones on because there's like this echo, but I wanted to make this a little rudimentary, just to, I don't know, change it up. Rudimentary. I'm still making a video. To you guys, I don't know if you can tell, maybe you can, but I just wanted to be simple today. I've got more exciting news. Last time I told you that I'm having a baby, or I'm working on having a baby with a couple, very nice couple, and they also agreed, very exciting, they're gonna come on the vlog, and we're gonna do a whole podcast episode about it, and so you'll get to meet my baby mamas, which is super exciting. They're absolutely amazing, so I feel really lucky that we've kind of found each other, and then we get to go through this weird and interesting, exciting thing together. Really big news. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen the podcast, I released a podcast where I interview other people. You can watch it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. And it's pretty fun. We have a really good time. It's really funny. And the big news today is just kind of weird and unnerving, but she's ovulating, or she's right at the beginning of it. So basically, your egg is going to be dropping, and there's only a window of time where your sperm can get to the egg where it's dropped, I think inside the uterus. And then eventually it clears out, and then you can't get pregnant for a certain period of time. But it's like right at the beginning. So either this evening or tomorrow morning, I'm gonna masturbate and come into a cup. Sorry if this isn't what you were expecting. And then literally, it literally is almost like a turkey baster, but it's like this fancy looking syringe that you just slurp it up and put it inside of you. Haven't really described this process, especially on video, to the internet before. We're doing it at home. So some people may prefer like the clinic, but we're going to be doing it at home, and it's really that simple. And like, we're not doing it the old-fashioned way. They're a couple, and I'm going into a cup, and then they're inserting it into themselves, and it should work. That should work. It's weird because there's this weird feeling of pressure. Like I want to perform. I'm hoping there's a lot, and I'm hoping that it's like my swimmers are good enough to get it done the first time, and I don't want to let them down, like if we don't get pregnant, which is like we couldn't know what was going on in there. But talking to her, she also has felt the same way. Like there's this funny aspect of pressure, but it's also like exciting at the same time. And it'll be so interesting if little baby gets to see it this video at some point, and know that we're trying our hardest to bring you into this world. So that's loving and exciting, and our intention is all love. So if you do ever see this, know that we're putting a lot of love into this process. It's strange, and it's like an unknown road, but exciting. And I'm gonna make a video really specific about this process and what I'm going through and thinking about, especially for anyone considering the process, or even educating themselves, considering on either side of the process. I'll try to give as much thorough information about it, because I think it's a really beautiful thing to be able to have this be a part of the community and an option in this modern world. Also, nothing really compares to the baby stuff, but I also decided that I'm gonna make a sauna, which is very exciting. I'm gonna turn my yard. It's time to turn my yard into a spa. Last year I built an accessory dwelling unit, which is basically a tiny house, and it's on a foundation, and it's got a full kitchen and bathroom, and it's in my backyard. I'll show you now that we're walking around. But that took me like a year to do. Here it is. Look at that thing. Look at that sucker. And really, it's an amazing process, and I really liked doing it, but it takes a ton of energy. It's got a big porch. Comes with a cat. That's Gandalf. And we call it the yard cabin. And now my sister lives in it. But it took so much like time and energy that I kind of took a break. I've been thinking about building a sauna for like a year, but it just takes a lot of time, so I've been kind of putting it off. But now I made the decision. Oh, and then I think it's gonna be like in this area. This whole area, it's gonna have a sauna, and then I'm gonna put a hot tub and a cold plunge. Oh, there's a dog. There we go. They're not gonna like this. Yeah. Neighbor dogs. These ones are new. There's some other dogs, but I don't know about these ones. But yeah, I decided the Sauna 2 is gonna be mostly out of. Hey, puppy. They're not really ready to be friends, I don't think. Maybe with a stick. Let's get him a stick. Maybe. Here we go. No? Alright. I'll also try treats next time. The other dog likes a stick, so. Okay, anyways. Reclaim materials for the sauna. And that means I got a bunch of pallets so far. And I get them from my work. These are from carrying coffee beans. So the beans come in these like 120-pound bags or something like that. But it's all like good wood. So I'll turn some of these like into siding, some of it into like 2x4 extension things. And then basically trying to do as much reclaimed as I can. And then that's like for the frame and the exterior, and then the interior, I'm going to do all like really nice cedar. So I think it'll give it this like cute rustic kind of look. And then there'll be some space in between the sauna and the tiny house where I'm gonna make like an outdoor tub for cold plunging and a hot tub. I haven't exactly figured everything out yet, but just gonna build the sauna. But actually the next couple days, like start getting materials ready, start designing it, and then as going through the design process, it starts to come out. This week there was another thing. There's more weird things going on, more interesting things, but this last weekend, hey puppy, this last weekend I got invited. My friend is in an improv group, and the theme of it is first date, and I got invited to go on a blind date on stage before the show. And of course I said yes. And so literally I go, and it's like there's probably like it's a smaller place, so there's probably like 20, 25 people in the audience, maybe that's too many, I don't know numbers, but let's say 20 people. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna have you sit in the front row, and then when we call you, you just come up to the stage, sit on the stage. And I'm like, okay. And so I go, and they call me up, and it's literally like, first time meeting this gal, they have the chairs like kind of, facing one here, and there's some cards in the middle. And there's no like, okay, you guys, like, this is so-and-so. We had to like introduce our names for the first time and just like try to have a conversation. And it was, actually, I think it went pretty smooth. It felt pretty good. She was pretty cute. I don't know if, honestly, like, I would go on a second date, but she also lives in North Seattle. So that's just, I don't really I go to Seattle like once every 6 months or something. So it's not really a realistic thing. It's like, like 45 minutes to an hour. That's like without traffic. But seemed really nice. But it was kind of funny because like it went pretty good. It was hard to kind of have a regular conversation. But there was these prompt cards you could use, but those were even more distracting because like some of them are raunchy and some of them are regular. And like the one I picked up was like the first time you ever masturbated. And it was like, what? Like, am I supposed to say this on stage? I don't know. And so you're like trying to sift through to find a good one that you want to ask, but then you're just like sitting there not saying anything. So I just felt like we could just have a regular kind of like chit chat, but she also seemed a little distracted. And also I think a big component was she has done improv before, and she actually got asked to sub in for the show right before this one. There was an improv show before, and I think it seemed like she wanted it to almost be like improv. So it seemed a little performative in a way, even though like she was super nice. And then especially when we went to sit down, and then they do improv based on things that you said. And so they're like kind of making fun of you, which was really funny. And then after a while, they have you come back up. But I think her seeing how it goes and knowing that they're gonna like use what we say made her really want to try to talk about something interesting, which like got us in our heads. And then my favorite part was, I thought was the funniest, was she was like looking through some of the cards to try to like come up with something to say. And I was like, well, let's just like have a normal, like try like a normal date. So I was like, where are you from? And she was like, I think that's kind of boring to talk about. And I was just like, what? Okay, like I guess, what do you want to talk about? And so it just made it hard just to like naturally go from one progression to other. And so, but it was, still nice enough and fun. It was just a weird, interesting experience. And we had some interesting overlaps that came up, in the short amount of time. But yeah, I feel like that's also preparing me for this other news. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. There's been a lot going on, but other exciting news, which this is, again, none of this is like planning out. It's like maybe, bubbling up into fruition. But like a few weeks ago, I had a casting director reach out to me for a reality TV show that's coming to Seattle. And of course I was like, well, I got to see what this is about. And they emailed me and they said they found my emails on my Instagram. So I was like, I want to know what this is about. So I call her and and ask her what show. It's for Married at First Sight. Yeah, I know. And I'm like, yeah, why not? Might as well, like, I'm having a baby, might as well get married at the same time too. And what's even better is, like, if Tova gets pregnant, I don't know if I've said this yet, but Hannah and Tova are the names of my baby mamas. And if she gets pregnant, then I'll be able to, like, tell my new wife that I also have a baby on the way. So it's like this really crazy timing if it all goes well. But then I feel like doing this blind date on stage is, like, weirdly preparing me for this, like, blind marriage that I might be going into, which is crazy, which I can also, like, talk more about that in another thing. But, like, I didn't even know what's something, like, I don't know if someone knows astrology or what, but there are my stars are lining up in an interesting way. And I also got asked to meet about potentially having another baby. So I feel like once you let someone know that you're willing to be a sperm donor, the floodgates just open. I feel like there's a joke there, but I don't want to do it. I'm not for this, but yeah, very lovely and interesting things happening. And let's just let that marinate, and I'll keep you guys updated to that. Like, I would love to be on the show. It would be really interesting, and I would genuinely give it a try. Like, the success rate isn't super high on the show, which is fine. But I'm not opposed to, like, a really weird and interesting experiment. I mean, I'm a single lady out here in the world, and you know, why not? And then I'd have to, basically the show, if you've never seen it, is you get married. That's it. That's the show. And just see if it works, and, like, give it an honest effort. And you know, I gotta, you know, whoever they pair me up with has got to be, you know, open-minded with all the things going on right now. But I feel like if you're willing to be on a show like that, then good chance you might be open to something. But yeah, it's gonna be, I hope I get it. It just sounds wild. But yeah, enough about that. Let me just show you what I'm thinking for this here sauna. So, can you see? What? Who are you talking? There's Katie. There's Katie. She doesn't like to be filmed, but I still do it sometimes because I feel like she's gonna be famous. That's my sister. Okay, so the sauna, if you're thinking about building something, you kind of just gotta feel out the space. I'm gonna get a tape measure how much, but I feel like the hot tub's gonna go over here. And I wanna do like an outdoor shower type thing here. I'm gonna level all this out, level the grass, and put pavers down, and then probably like hot tub around here-ish, and then the sauna will go from like here, look, sitting in the sauna, and then probably to about here. And then I think it's gonna be like a slanted roof. And then I'm gonna make also like a cover over this hot tub area too. And then with a kind of a privacy gate, it's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I still need to measure it out and do a couple different sketches to get a vibe. But like, I'm thinking like slanted roof, kind of go down, and then maybe another slanted thing. So it kind of is this V, or I could do two slants like this, or I could do like a regular sauna that has a peaked roof, and then do something else over there. But how I'm gonna figure it out is like looking at different things on Pinterest, looking at like awnings and patio covers, and getting some inspiration from there, and then like pair it together for what I want the vision. You have to kind of like learn to imagine it. It helps to sketch it out, like even just rudimentarily, to get a vibe. And then, yeah, that'll be the sauna. And part of the reason I want to do it there is because that area kind of gets the most shady, and then we want to keep more of the grass area open, like for lounging. And potentially, if I were to do it in addition to the house, I would do it in this area at some point. That's like maybe down the road. I've been thinking about putting a second story on the house at some point, but I think I'll build the sauna and stuff first, because then I'm working so hard, and then I can soak in the hot tub after or something. But yeah, can you imagine 2 stories right there? Maybe 3. 2 stories with an attic? I think so. But so much is going on. I wish I, could make this longer. And I could, but it's hard to watch for that long. But yeah, tune in next week. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll let you know when I interview my baby mamas. I'll let you know if she gets pregnant. Let you know if I hear about the show. There's just so much to keep up on right now. And then who's going to be on the podcast. It's a fun time. Like my life, it's like there's a lot to be thankful for. And I appreciate you guys coming along the journey. Also, like, let me know what you want to hear more about. It's fascinating to me, and I'd love to share about it if you want to hear about it. Also, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm trying to make a living out of this, making entertainment, making the podcast, and so like this vlog, I'm gonna start putting a little segment in it. Like, I don't like a bunch of commercials, but like just, I want it to be transparent. It's like whatever product that I put on here is like something I believe in, but it'll just be like short. Like, I'll try to make it really short segments about stuff I care about that will like either be sponsoring the vlog or the podcast, or like a product recommendation. And then like if you buy it through the link, every little bit kind of goes to support me in this process and this journey of life. And then the more I can do that, the more time I have for this. And I'm also working on some like trainings and experiences and retreats. So like the more I can get that going, the more time I can spend bringing us together and creating more community and connection. And going on more weird blind dates and TV shows, I guess. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time.